Assalamu alaikum. Get to know your Lord. First part of the Right Belief series by Sheikh Karim Abu Zaid. This dynamic literary work of art's main goal is to revive an understanding the names and attributes of Allah. And understanding the name and attributes of Allah will elevate our faith, strengthen us, and keep us steadfast. This wonderful book is now available in an audiobook format and can be found free of charge on YouTube, channel Karim Abu Zaid. Get to know your Lord. You have nothing to lose.
You will make it through. The fitra is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah by your side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. You will make it through. The fitra is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through.
Wassalam, wassalam ala wa rasulullah. I want to welcome everybody here to our class, our Aqidah class. And this is a class whereas we are studying from the book entitled Diluting al-Wala wa Bara. Diluting al-Wala wa Bara. And this book is one of the most important books that you'll ever read, because this book can save you from the hellfire. And that's the reality. That's the reality. To read, understand, and implement the teachings of this book, you will be guaranteed to be saved from the hellfire. Why? Because this book, this entire series, focuses on the belief system of the Muslim. It teaches you what it means to believe La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. So please, for those of you who have not yet purchased this book, you do not want to hesitate to purchase it. You need to get over there to Amazon.com. The book is only $19.99. This is volume 2. The first book is the blue book. Make sure you purchase that one too, because we will be reviewing these books over and over and over again. Because again, this series, Get to Know Your Lord, that this is the correct belief series. To learn this, understand it, and live it, I can guarantee you that you'll be saved from the hellfire. You won't even have to spend a second in hell. You won't even have to go through the dipping if you understand what's in these 3 volumes and put it in practice. Because again, you're not going to find a series of belief written in English like this. Okay, this is better than all those other books that people be reading to you from that's translated into English. Those are good books like the Aqidah book written by Abdul Wahab. I've taught that to you guys for years. This is better, more detail, because it speaks about not only the first part of the Shahada, which is La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, and what it means, but it goes into detail about the second part of the Shahada that most Muslims today don't understand, which is al-Wala wal-Bara, allegiance. Our allegiance as Muslims is to Allah, to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to the religion of Islam in and of itself, and to each other, meaning Muslims. That's it. We don't have allegiance to anything or anyone else. If we understood the concept of allegiance, you wouldn't have Muslims a part of the non-Muslim military. Muslims who have joined the military of non-Muslim countries, that shows that those Muslims unfortunately don't understand the second part of the Shahada, which is El Wala wal Allegiance, where our allegiances be. Okay? Those Muslim women that you see who are running or have run for Congress in America and other non-Muslim Zionist countries, women trying to lead, a woman wanting to lead a nation, a president of a nation, or a senator, and all this, a congresswoman, and all of this. These again are Muslim women who have a problem with their belief system. These are Muslim women who do not understand the concept of El Wala wal Bara, which is allegiance and disassociation. Those Muslim men who compromise their identity on the job by conforming not only to the non-Muslim way of dressing, speaking, but also shaving the beard, and all of that. These are Muslim men who have a problem with the concept of El Wala wal Bara, which is allegiance and disassociation. And again, guys, I tell you all the time, and I can see why. Well, now I know why I get these questions. A lot of people will come in here to my stream and ask me, is it true that we're going to be punished in the grave? Because I didn't know. But here we have another set of people who call themselves Muslims that deny the punishment of the grave. What kind of nonsense is that? Anyone who denies the punishment of the grave, you are denying Allah. Subhanallah, I didn't know that we had Muslims doing that. And I understand you Muslims, where they live at again. I'll get personal. Y'all know Layla don't bite her tongue. Where they from, brother? Where are you at? In Florida. That's where Jamali is. Well, you know what? Jamali did do a lecture a couple of weeks ago about people who deny the punishment of the grave. So you brothers must be from Jamali's community, huh? What is this, y'all? And down there in Tampa, Florida, what's going on down there in Florida? Shout out to the Muslims in Tampa. What's going on? Y'all got a problem with the punishment of the grave? I didn't know that Muslims are so twisted. I've always known that there were Muslims. I used the word Muslims, English. I always knew that there were Muslims who denied the qadr of Allah, the decree of Allah. But my goodness, I didn't know we had Muslims who denied the punishment of the grave. The brother here is saying, yeah, we down here in Tampa, Florida. Yeah, we know Jamali. Yeah, Jamali gave some shorts on that. I see why he talked about that in one of his khutbahs. Brothers, for those of you who deny the punishment of the grave, you're no different than those other Muslims that deny the qadr of Allah. Astaghfirullah. This is why we need to buy this series of books. You need to buy these books and then come to all my classes, because I will be teaching these books over and over and over again. I want you brothers and sisters to understand, unless your belief system, Allah tells us this in the Quran, and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam tells us this in many hadiths. Unless your belief system is correct, none of your good deeds are accepted. If you brothers are denying that we will be punished in our graves, whatever mosques y'all built doesn't count. Whatever prayers you make don't count. You're not getting rewarded for none of your deeds that are good. None. because the Aqidah, you have to believe La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah in its totality. You brothers cannot pick and choose what parts of this deen to believe in and what parts to reject. Is that clear? What's going on in Tampa, Florida? Okay, and also, guys, there's a whole series that I have taught, and it's on my YouTube page. For you brothers who want more information about the punishment of the grave, I go into great detail from Bukhari and Muslim as usual about what happens from the time that those footsteps leave your grave. What happens? I am very, very explicit. It's scary. Y'all brothers better get it together and stop picking and choosing what parts of this deen. You better learn to accept that Allah is in charge of everything. You better learn to accept his decree and learn to believe everything he says, including the fact. Let me just give you young brothers a clue. A clue. When the angel of death pulls your soul from your throat, you will know then if you go into hell or not. As when they put your body, pour your soul, they're going to put your soul either in a filthy burlap sack that stinks, or they're going to put it in a beautiful musk-scented sack, and they're going to carry it up to the heavens, to the highest heaven, and they will write down your name will be written in the book of whether or not you go into hell or paradise, and you will know, because if your soul is in that burlap sack, once they write your name down or whatever, if you go into hell, they will release you. The angels will release your soul, and your soul will be dropped back into your body. Oh yeah, in that grave. It's going to be painful. Oh yeah. So I don't know what you brothers are talking about. Who y'all listening to down there in Tampa, Florida? Who's teaching y'all this nonsense? A'udhu billahi. Y'all better listen to Dr. Ibrahim Duramali. Yeah, he's down there. Whatever masjid he's at. Get with Dr. Ibrahim Duramali. Yeah, subhanAllah. That's a terrible thing to deny the punishment of the grave. But we'll talk about that in another class. I do other classes on that. But this class, that's why it's important. You're going to have to, even when we're dealing with other Muslims, we will find ourselves having to implement Bara. Either I'm going to show my allegiance to this Muslim because this Muslim's upon the correct belief system, or I'm going to have to disassociate. If there's somebody teaching you something that contradicts what Allah says, contradicts what the companions say. Oh, you got some in California too, Mina? What's up with this? Wait a minute. Mina, get on the mic. You in here? I'm just hearing about this. What's going on? Y'all know,
yeah, some people out here think that too, that it ain't gonna be no punishment under the grave.
What sect is this?
I don't know. What is that? I have no idea.
Another sect. I mean, there's so many sects. It's ridiculous. See, I live in an isolated world, because I do all my dawah here on the internet. I'm a female. But I remember Jermali was talking about that. He gave a khutbah on that in Florida. So in California too, whatever this sect is, y'all better run away from it. Whoever these people are that's telling y'all that you will not be punished in your grave, y'all better do Bara. You better distance yourself from them, because these people are calling you to the gates of hell. Y'all understand that? anyone who is telling you that you will not be punished in your grave, they are calling you to the gates of hell. So y'all better disassociate from those people. Is that clear? Astaghfirullah, and come to my classes. Even though my dawah is aimed at the women, I have more male followers. The brothers are telling me because my English is so well, because I break the religion down in English and I give dalil. These other brothers that teach, they teach from books of method. This is the problem. I want y'all to remember this religion ain't based on no method. There's only two sources of Islam, the Quran and the authentic hadiths that y'all see me using. I don't teach from no method, and you other brothers out there, y'all need to stop that. Jamali doesn't teach from a method either. Kareem Abu Zayd doesn't teach from no method either. And Sheikh Atlee doesn't either. You brothers have to stop taking your knowledge from these methabs. But there is no methab that I know of that tells you that there's no punishment in the grave. So I don't know what that is. That's some crazy set. So stay away from them, people. Get these books and join my classes here every day. You brothers are welcome to learn from me as long as you behave. What do I mean by behave? That means show respect to me, because there's a lot of brothers out there that don't respect women too. But I'm one of those women that you can't disrespect, because I'm a chip off the old block. All right? As long as you brothers come in here and act like you got sense, you can listen and learn from me. Most of my followers are men for some reason anyway. They say because I break the religion down easier. I can understand that. I speak grassroots English. That's what it is. I can appeal to you better. I understand your culture better. That's why y'all like listening to me. Yeah, Jamali has an accent. Yeah. The brothers say Jamali's accent is hard to follow. Yeah. But listen to him. Yeah, this is crazy. Astaghfirullah. Okay, so today for this class, what I'm going to do, we've been focusing in on how, even on the workplace, at our jobs, at our universities, at school, living in a non-Muslim country, we're going to find ourselves faced with situations in which we're going to have to implement allegiance or disassociation. I can work with the non-Muslims. I can participate with them on the job, but I have to know when to hold and know when to fold, like Willie Nelson says. Okay? If it's something that the job is doing that contradicts my Islamic values, I'm going to speak out against it and say I can't do it. You don't have to go into detail, as we've been discussing. You don't have to explain why Muslim women wear hijab. That ain't none of their business. All you got to do is tell them because it's my right as a Muslim. And I want every Muslim in America listening to me to understand something. I'm speaking as a paralegal now. We have one thing about America, you have the freedom. Oh yeah, that Constitution gives everybody freedoms, not just the LGBTQ. You have the freedom to practice your religion your way without being discriminated against. And if somebody on your job tries to make you take off a hijab, make you shave your beard, or do anything that contradicts your Islamic values, eat pork, steal, lie, every state in America, including Alaska, they have a civil rights commission. Write that down. If you feel like your rights as a Muslim are being violated, contact your state's civil rights commission. Okay? Every state in America has one. Or you can go online and contact the federal Civil Rights Commission. Okay? If you feel that your job or your school, your employer or your university is trying to cause you to violate your religious belief. So that's the thing I want everyone listening to me to understand. Living in America, you don't have to explain. We don't owe anybody an explanation as to why we do what we do except Allah. As Muslims, we only answer to him. All you have to do is say, I'm sorry, boss, I can't participate in this project because this project impedes upon my civil right to practice my religion. That's it. Why do you dress like this, Layla? Because that's my belief system. To try to get me to change my dress is impeding upon my civil rights. Okay? Y'all better learn how to speak. For you foreigners that come to America, you need to take classes to learn about American civics. I'm speaking as a paralegal now. Because we got rights. Okay? And by the way, I want you guys to understand, it's a good job, Nicole. Nicole brought up a good point. She said that her job, because jobs don't want to get sued here in America. America's known as being shysters. This is a Zionist country. Everybody sues. Uh-oh, I got a headache. I'm getting ready to sue Tylenol. Oh, yeah. Don't no company want no lawsuit. Don't no company want to be threatened with a lawsuit and exposed to the press. They scared of the TV too. You tell them, you try to violate my civil rights. Not only am I going to contact the Civil Rights Commission, but I'm going to also contact the newspapers and the TV. Oh, they don't like that. They'll give you whatever you want. They'll give you a prayer room. But I want you guys to understand, your job doesn't owe you a prayer room. That's where we Muslims blow it. And this is how the Muslims of 2024 have changed. They become diluted. See, I grew up in the 60s, the civil rights era. That's why I speak so powerfully. I'm from the civil rights era. Malcolm X. Oh, yeah, I'm from Malcolm X. Okay? Muslims today believe that Allah owes them. Believe that the world owes them something. Allah tells us in the Quran, I want all you brothers to write it down, because you brothers are the one that's supposed to be working and providing, not the women. A woman shouldn't be working unless she has no choice because she ain't got a man. Okay? But for you brothers, I want y'all to understand, your job don't owe you a place to pray. Allah says in the Quran, the entire earth is a place of worship for us. You don't have to explain, just like I don't have to explain why I dress the way I dress. All I got to do is say it's my belief, and they have to accept that. You don't have to tell people when your prayers are, and you don't need a prayer room. If you know it's time to make salat, you simply say, I need a break. Because guess what? Here in America, every company has to give you a 10-minute break. You tell them I need to take my break, and you go and pray. You find a corner to pray in. You find a room to pray in. You find a closet to pray in. Or you go outside and stand underneath a tree and pray. Y'all understand that? That's the difference. Muslims today are too pampered and spoiled. Don't nobody owe you a prayer room. I need my break. They owe you a break. And what you do on your break, that's federal law. Yeah, you're talking to a civil rights person here. They have to give you a break. And what you do on your break is your business, as long as you ain't violating like smoking, getting high, drinking and all that stuff is a little different. But what you do on your break is your business. Y'all got it? So when you go to get these jobs, this is what we talked about this week. When you go and apply for jobs, they already know that you a Muslim. They can look at you and tell. They look at your name. They know. SubhanAllah, I went to get my passport renewed today, and I had to go through a bunch of red tape. I was born in America. Every time I renew my driver's license, every time I do a renewal of anything, we need to see your naturalization papers. I said, what naturalization papers? I told her, I said, can't you tell from this African-American accent that I was born in USA? She said, ma'am, anybody can fake an accent. Then y'all should have heard her. She went, ma'am. Then she made her voice tough. Anybody can fake an African-American accent. She said, I need your naturalization papers. I said, I was born in America. Here's my birth certificate. Look at the birth certificate. So we always go through drama. But like I told her, I just retired from the government. I said, do you need me to make a phone call to my ex-supervisor? I said, I'm pretty sure I can call the State Department right now and I can get the governor. I said, I can call the Ohio governor on the phone that can verify that I'm the natural citizen. Oh, she shut up then. You got to know how to deal with people, guys. You got to know how to deal with people. And you can't be afraid because you all got rights here in America. Okay? When I told her that, I said, I'll call the governor, my ex-boss, and maybe he can verify it. So know your rights, guys. Don't nobody owe you a prayer room. And can't nobody refuse you a break. And by the way, you ain't got to tell people you need to take a break to go pray. That's how a lot of people blow it too. I know when I was working, I had some Muslim men that worked on my job. They had the nerve to tell the boss, I need to go pray at a certain time. They said, if that's the case, everybody here belongs to different religions. We won't have no employees doing their job because everybody will be praying. I told the brothers, why did y'all tell them that? The only thing that you need is a break. What you do you get 2 breaks. 2 breaks within 8 hours. It wasn't their business what you do on your break. So that's the problem with Muslims today. We want to be accepted. We're too busy trying to blend in and make the Kafirs accept us. We have to understand they'll never accept us. And that's the verse that we went over the other day. Allah says in the Quran, they will never accept us. All they want is your destruction. So you Muslims here in America, you have to stop trying to make the people accept you. You have to stop trying to be pampered because that ain't happening. Just know your rights. I have a right to believe and practice however I believe and practice. That's all you need to know and be firm with that. So that's what we've been speaking about for the past week. And today we're going to end this chapter by speaking about how even when we're dealing with our friendships with each other and our personal interactions with each other, we're going to have to also fall back upon al-wala wal-bara. Okay. Tonight, inshallah, we're going to end this chapter of Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid's book by speaking about how to navigate the diversity of our friendships, and our relationships with each other on and off the job and etc. Okay. Let's take a look. And we're going to start it off with this verse of the Quran, which is a very powerful verse that I want all of you to take a screenshot of. So now when you screenshot, you have a picture of me on the side. Hey, for the kids, and you had a PowerPoint. Okay, so Allah says in the Quran, in the interpretation of the meaning, ask the people of the reminder if you don't know. What does that mean? A lot of people say, well, I didn't know. You know, my job was having a Thanksgiving party. They were having a Thanksgiving party at my job. And so I went to it to participate. I didn't know if I should or not, but I just went. Well, guess what? For those of you who don't believe in the punishment of the grave, when those angels of death pull your soul from your throat, they're going to ask you, why didn't you ask the people of knowledge? Didn't Allah send messengers to you? Didn't Allah send people of reminder to you? So again, Allah is not going to accept that excuse, I did not know. Why didn't you know that you should not have participated in that holiday? Because participating in Thanksgiving, it violates Bara. Our allegiance is not to the pilgrims. Our allegiance is not to setting aside one day out the year to give thanks. Allah commands us to glorify and thank him every day, as often as we can. So participating in Thanksgiving, this violates the Islamic principles. Allah is going to ask you, why didn't you ask the people of reminder? Okay, so the people of reminder can be interpreted to mean the scholars, the people like me, Islamic teachers, Islamic callers, or the experts, you know, who are well versed in Islamic law, who are well versed in the hadith, this religion and all of that. Again, the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has told us that a person who is consulted is in a position of trust. You guys hear me in the Zoom room. I'm always saying I'm a daya. I'm a daya. This is a position of amana. That means I am in a position of trust. I am a consultant. I am a caller to the truth. This is a position of trust. I'm going to be held accountable to Allah in a worse way than you. My sins will be punished more severely than yours. If you and I do the same sin, if you and I both do the same sin, Allah is going to punish me worse than you and more than you because I knew better and I was in a position of trust. Okay, so this hadith underlines the gravity of asking the people of knowledge or asking your advisors, you know, to give you their judgment, their guidance on whether or not you should or should not do something. You know, a lot of us do it because we want to. A lot of us know, for example, that Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, Thanksgiving Day, and birthdays are haram. We know it. We know the truth, but we just don't want to accept it. But it's not going to eradicate the fact that when we die, those angels are going to throw it right back up in our faces. Okay? So now what Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid has done, which I really like, he gives tips. He gives tips as to what to do if you're faced with a scenario on the job or a scenario at school that may compromise your Islamic faith, your Islamic values. And he starts off by telling us, before indulging in whatever the act is, before engaging in it, clarify, seek to the knowledge of whether or not it's something permissible. Like I said, that your job's having a Thanksgiving party. They put the flyer out. You just don't go. You go do the research. Check ahead of time to see if this is going to impinge upon my Islamic beliefs. And always seek scholarly advice. You have an imam in your community. Contact your local imam, and hopefully he's the right imam. He ain't no imam telling you that you ain't going to be punished in the grave. Hopefully the imam of your community is upon the correct aqidah. Always call and consult with him. And then if he tells you that you can't participate in whatever the thing is, then you just be diplomatic but firm with your boss. Just let your boss know, I cannot participate in this activity or this project because it impedes upon my religious belief. That's all you have to say. You don't have to explain how. Just tell them that this violates my civil right. My civil right. When they hear you use terminology like that, when they hear you use terminology like civil rights, that lets them know, oh, this person is a doer, not a sayer. This person is not stupid. This person is someone that I have to respect. Remember, respect is earned, not given. So use the right terminology. I'm adding that. Sheikh Kareem didn't put this in his book, but this is me from my experience. I just can't do it. I can't decorate the Christmas tree. You want the secretaries in the office to put up Christmas decorations. You want the secretaries in the office to put up Valentines and pumpkins and stuff for the holidays. You just let them know, I can't do this because it violates my civil right to practice my religion the way I practice. That's all you tell them. And they will get somebody else to do the job. So be diplomatic, but firm. And also, whether it's a business partnership or a social cause, always know what to support and what not to support. For those things that don't violate our religion, this is how you earn the respect of your coworkers, your classmates. The things that don't violate my religious beliefs, I'm going to be right there to participate in. I'm going to put my heart in it. I'm going to put my heart in advocating that this contract that we're writing is lucrative to everybody's needs. I'm going to spend the hours I need at home to make sure that I got the wording correct. So the things that don't violate our Islamic belief system, put your heart in it and do it to the best of your ability. Do it better than anyone else. And that way you're gonna they'll respect you even more. And always engage in self-examination. That's something I've been teaching you guys since this past Ramadan. I hope you guys are still doing it. Every night before you go to bed, evaluate your day. Think about all the decisions you made during the day, what choices you made, and evaluate how well you maintained your ethical and religious principles. Because by doing this and adhering to the Quran and the Sunnah, guys, I'm telling you, not only will you be in good standing with Allah, but your co-workers, your business associates, even though they're not Muslim, they will all respect you. They will never like you. They'll never like us, but they'll always respect you. And that's all you care about. It's not about being liked. It's about being respected. And even in our friendships, the same things apply. We've talked over and over again how the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, be choosy in who you allow to get close to you. Even on the job, when you're working with non-Muslims, for those people that you decide to team up with, try to team up with the ones that are not drinking, the ones that are not drugging and all of that. I just retired from the government. One thing with government employees, they love their cocaine. Oh, yes, that's true. Government workers get high, man. The more money you make, they don't indulge in crack. They indulge in cocaine. They snort and sniff cocaine and heroin. Oh yeah, heroin too. I made sure that I didn't have a team of druggies on my team. The people that I worked with were good women. They were all women like me, and they were good women. They called themselves good Christians. They didn't drink, they didn't smoke, they didn't mess around, and they knew how to throw down when we had to throw down. Okay, so be careful, with the people that you engage yourself with on the job or in school. If you're in a study group, you want to choose other students, who don't drink, don't smoke, don't. Again, when it comes to actions of charity and things like that, put your heart in it so that you can earn their respect. And again, know how to job from play. When it's time to punch out, you punch that time clock and go home. You don't go out and get a drink with them. You don't go out and just talk about the day with them. You don't go out and get comfortable with these non-Muslims and start telling them your marital problems, your personal business. This is a problem with women. Women go on the job and we start telling our business to the Kafirs. What makes you think that a non-Muslim is going to understand that you are a polygamist? They believe in having sex out of wedlock. They accept that. But to tell them that you married a man who has another wife, do you think that your co-worker is going to understand that or support that? So we have to understand that this is a business relationship. It's not, we don't share our personal business with these people. And we don't hang with them off the job either. It's about boundaries. Boundaries. My relationship with you is simply business, not personal. Okay? So I really like the way Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd broke this chapter down. And as you guys can see in the book, he gave scenarios. I gave scenarios too, to be a little bit different, to try to hit to the women here and the men here on my website, the problems that you guys have. So, but we learn from this chapter that we can live in a multicultural, secular society, and we can still maintain our Muslim identity. It's just that it's not going to be easy. It's going to take, number one, commitment to Allah first and foremost. It's going to take having our priorities in order. Allah first, the Prophet second, and our religion. Okay? It's going to also take constant evaluation of your decisions, constant evaluation of your choices. It's going to also entail you on the days off from work hanging out with Muslims. You don't want to surround yourself with a bunch of non-Muslims. Non-Muslims are the only people you're in contact with. We have to work with them. But on your days off, go to the mosque or hang out with other women. Come to my Zoom room. Come in my Zoom room and hang out with the sisters here in the Zoom room. You need that exposure to people like yourself, because you will find yourself emulating the people that you're around the most. And so if you're around a bunch of non-Muslims, you will emulate them. So you have to maintain that identity by also having a relationship with the Muslims in your community. So, mashallah, this was a very good chapter that Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd wrote.